Hi everyone, Mrs. V here, and today we are going to look at the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory again, but this time we are going to look at molecules in which the central atom does not have an octet. No time to waste with this one, let's get into it. Today we will be looking at a number of molecules that are real rule breakers. The central atom does not have an octet. Well, they say rules are made to be broken. When it comes to the octet rule, this is true. There are three categories of octet rule exceptions. There are incomplete octets, expanded octets, and odd electron molecules. There's no need to panic. We already know how to use the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory for 4 electron pairs. We can easily apply the same principle to other numbers of electron pairs. We will not have time to consider every available molecular shape today. Today we will look at linear, the triatomic kind, trigonal planar, trigonal bipyramid, octahedral. We'll also look at some of the expanded octet tetrahedral examples. One atom that can have an incomplete octet is the beryllium atom. Now it's an alkaline earth metal, so you might expect it to form only ionic bonds. Chemistry is simply not that straightforward. Beryllium has a small atomic radius and a fairly high ionization energy, so it doesn't lose electrons very easily. This means it's actually more likely to form covalent bonds. As it only has 2 valence electrons, it can only form 2 covalent bonds. This means it can't form an octet through covalent bonding. In beryllium hydride, the beryllium atom forms a single covalent bond with each of 2 hydrogen atoms. The 2 bonded pairs repel, leading to them being on the opposite sides of the beryllium nucleus. This makes a bond angle of 180 degrees. This shape is called linear. Because there are 3 atoms, we can make a bond angle for this type of linear shape. There are some law-abiding molecules that also have this shape due to their octet being made with double or triple bonds. A double or triple bond only counts as one repelling group, so in carbon dioxide the 2 double bonds repel and create a 180 degree bond angle. In hydrogen cyanide, a single bond and a triple bond repel to create the linear shape. Boron and aluminium have 3 valence electrons and also tend to form incomplete octets by making 3 covalent bonds. Using the VSEPR theory, these 3 bonds will be in the same plane with a bond angle of 120 degrees. This shape is called trigonal planar. A molecule where the central atom has an octet, but there is 1 double bond, will also form a trigonal planar geometry, for example, the carbonate ion. Another molecule with a trigonal planar shape is sulfur trioxide. The central atom sulfur has 3 double bonds. Hang on! That's 12 electrons in the valence shell. All 6 of sulfur's valence electrons have formed a covalent bond. How can this be? If we look at the Aufbau diagram for sulfur, we can see here in the 3rd shell, which is the valence shell, that sulfur needs 2 electrons to complete its octet. That would mean 2 covalent bonds. Don't forget though that the 3rd shell also has d orbitals. Any element in period 3 onwards can make use of the lower energy d orbitals for bonding. Sulfur can spread its 6 valence electrons out to make 6 unpaired electrons. Now it can form 6 covalent bonds. This state is a high energy state, so it's known as an excited state. The electrons are in higher energy levels than in the ground state. Expanded octet, or more than 8 electrons in the valence shell, is the norm rather than the exception for period 3 and beyond. Elements in period 1 and 2 can't expand the octet because they don't have any d orbitals. We have seen the tetrahedral shape before when we were dealing with molecules based on an octet like methane. This shape can also occur with expanded octets like in sulfuric acid, where sulfur has 12 electrons in the valence shell, or in the phosphate ion, where phosphorus has 10 electrons in its valence shell. If you have 5 repelling pairs, you get a shape called trigonal bipyramid. All trigonal bipyramid examples have expanded octets because 5 pairs of electrons is more than 8. There are 2 different bond angles here. 3 of the bonds are in the same plane at 120 degrees to each other. The other 2 bonds are above and below the plane at 90 degrees. Phosphorus pentachloride is your example for trigonal bipyramid. When there are 6 repelling pairs, the shape is called octahedral. All bond angles here are 90 degrees, so all bonds are perpendicular to the next one. Sulfur hexafluoride is your example. You might have seen YouTube videos of people inhaling it and then speaking like Darth Vader. What's less funny about sulfur hexafluoride is that it's a super potent greenhouse gas. It's over 22,000 times more effective at trapping infrared radiation than the same amount of carbon dioxide. It can stay in the atmosphere for over 3,000 years. It's used on Earth as an electrical insulator. In summary, it doesn't matter whether you're looking at octets, incomplete octets or expanded octets. The VSEPR theory allows you to predict the shape of the molecule. Well, I hope you found that video useful, and if you did, please give it a like. Also, please subscribe to my channel, watch more videos, keep learning more about this wonderful subject of chemistry. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.